Hello, Taurus. This is your January 2021 general reading. And boy, what a year it's been, huh, Taurus? I don't know how long you've been watching my videos, but I certainly had been forecasting that 2020 was going to be a year that kind of put you into a situation where it was kind of like an entirely new chapter. I mean, like a serious new chapter, not just like, okay, a little bit of a new chapter, but I felt like there was a total realignment. I'd been saying that for a year, of course, not knowing about COVID when I said that. But I feel like for you guys, it's actually beyond that. So I've been thinking about your energy. Let's find out what January's got going on for you. Hope you guys had a good holiday, or somewhat. I mean, as good as could be expected, right? Let's get into this. The Fool. Oh my gosh. Right away, pull the Fool. New journey. Just putting the past behind you, just like taking off and ignoring the baggage, letting go of the baggage, letting go of the input from other people. People are going to say what they're going to say, right? They've always got opinions and so forth, but the Fool tells you it's time to listen to yourself. Do what you feel you want to do, regardless of fears, regardless of, what could be in a negative sense. You don't want to think that way. You want to think positively. No one ever gets to the mountaintop by listening to doubt. You get to the mountaintop by faith and confidence. And there's nothing better than being guided by yourself, by your inner voice, by your intuition, by your desires, by your passion. That's what the Fool talks about. Okay. Oh, the Prince of Discs. So some of you, this is you, the Prince of Discs. And again, this is the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot deck. So if you're male energy, if you're Mars energy, if you're a male, the Prince of Discs would be you. Some people say it's money coming at you slowly. That's another way to interpret it. So it can be money coming at you slowly. It can also be a person, a prince of the earth, someone with either 4s or 8s in their, well, more so 4s in their numerology, or someone who is a Virgo, Capricorn, or like you, a Taurus. Okay, Queen of Swords. Oh, goodness. Queen of Swords. Now again, most of the court cards, people that come up in readings, they're dual meaning, and it's just going to depend on some of you it's going to mean one thing, and some of you it's going to mean another thing. I'm not in your life. I'm not living in your life. So you're going to have to interpret what way makes sense in the reading. But the Queen of Swords can be two things. Either you being very clear of mind, being very focused, kind of not fighting, but just, taking what you know, using your clarity and forging ahead and doing what you need to do. For others of you, if you're looking for Venus energy, this can be someone who's an air sign, an Aquarian, a Libra, or a Gemini, female, older, who's coming into your life either to guide you, to love you, to oppose you, something like that. Let's find out what else is surrounding that card. Knight of Cups. Oh, bringer of love. Prince of Discs, Knight of Cups. New love coming. Wow. So this new journey, it sounds like this year, this new journey, this January is setting a lot of things in motion. Seven of Swords, Moon in Aquarius. You've been emotionally pushed to the edge, right? You've been put in a place emotionally that has made you rethink everything. You're looking at things differently. You're feeling differently about things. The moon, that's our emotions, but our emotions and our mind don't generally get along all that well. Just like the Three of Swords, the Seven of Swords is similar. There's a little bit of opposition going on. I don't know if this has to do with love with that Knight of Cups, or if this has to do with career, you know, what's coming up right after it is the Seven of Discs. So that's career, that's money. That's like kind of it's talking about, in a way, a period where you've kind of been putting forth a lot of energy into money, into career, into material matters, you know, properties, vehicles, possessions, career. And it's not that there's any type of a failure. It's just that things are kind of they're hibernating on a material sense. You know, so January, I feel like, there's not a lot you can do. You have to just do what you're doing. You have to continue, you know, don't throw in the towel, don't give up on anything, but just understand that some things take longer. It's a process. That's what the 7 speaks of. It's kind of like Sabbath, you know. Traditionally, what Sabbath means is you rest. You don't really do much. I mean, you don't quit living. There's not much you can do. It's a period where you're waiting. You know, you're being spiritual. And here you had 2 sevens, the 7 of Discs and the 7 of Swords. So January is definitely a transition time for you. So interesting, the 4 of Cups. This is the offer. And the Knight of Cups and the Prince of Discs. So some of you have met someone. Some of you have left your mark. You've left an impression on someone, and someone is interested. With the Knight of Cups, obviously there's offers. There's some type of an offer, either in love, in career, in deep friendship. It's serious offer, okay? And oh my gosh, see? 2 of Cups. There's new love for a lot of you out there. I mean, the 2 of Cups, you see that, you know, the lotus is just splashing water from the top into the cups, into like the ocean of life. You see that it's like an ocean with the different colors. And in the center where the 2 fish are, representing the 2 people that are getting together, it's yellow. That's happiness. And the orange, that's passion. So there's passion, there's happiness. You know, the 2 of Cups, some people get the 2 of Cups and they go, oh, I didn't meet anyone, you know, but yet they've really connected with a soulmate. They've connected with a bestie, someone who's their BFF, someone who's just on the same wavelength as they are, and it's just really easy. And that's the kind of love and connection that the 2 of Cups talks about. It talks about being connected to someone that it's not lover's energy where it's that, you know, fight and make up, you know, sex and fight. It's not that type of thing. It's very compatible. It's very cohesive. It's very easy. It feels like a warm bath, you know. It feels great. Oh my gosh, but you did get the lovers too. Oh my gosh. I said it's not like the lovers, and then here come the lovers. So, wow. You know, it's very possible that you have 2 options, right? Because Knight of Cups, 4 of Cups, the love, 2 of Cups, and the lovers. So you just have a whole lot of stuff going on. And we're going to have to do a love reading soon. So I'll do a love reading really soon. But let's get a little bit more clarity. Obviously, I feel like, you know, I definitely feel like there's a couple of options in the love department. You know, one of those options might be staying where you're at, because this Prince of Discs came up way down there, and then the Knight of Cups came up afterwards. So that would possibly speak about 2 different people. It's very possible, especially with the lovers and the 2 of Cups and the Queen of Swords. There could be options. You know, if some of you are, what do they call it, gender fluid, you know, it's very possible that you can, you know, there can be 2 very different kinds of relationships being offered to you, coming into your life. You know, someone who just really wants to connect with you on a soul level, and also someone who's much more passionate. Now we have the 6 of Swords, so there's a little bit of balance. Some of you are going to study. Some of you are going back to school. Some of you are definitely going to be looking into a new way of life, something different than you've been doing, or expanding on what you know. That's possible too, you know, because the 6 of Swords, it's learning. It's all the swords are kind of pointing in, so there's a balance. This particular deck, they call it science. I don't know why, but it's just kind of learning. It's clarity. It's really, again, getting into your mind. So I think this goes along with that Queen of Swords energy there. Or maybe it's telling you to use your mind in this decision. The Hierophant, definitely some of you are getting married. The Hierophant can be a teacher, right? It can be a spiritual leader. So some of you might be expanding spiritually. Some of you might be getting therapy. Some of you might be getting married. The Hierophant just speaks about someone who's very wise. Someone who's, they're the head of their organization. They're the head of their school. They're the head of their church. They're the head of their temple. They're someone that everyone looks up to. They can be a mentor. They can be a boss. They can be a lot of things, a rabbi, a priest. It's all about what's happening in your life. Some people say that the Hierophant is associated with Virgo because it's a 5. 5 is Mercury, and Mercury is a huge influencer in Virgo. So, and you get the Moon card. Wow. Okay, so there's something that's been going on that you may not know about or you haven't known about, but I think you're going to be aware of it very soon. The Moon speaks about, a lot of people say, oh, it's Pisces, it's intuition. I don't really see the Moon like that. I see the Moon card as kind of mice in the wall, things happening in the dark. You're doing something in the dark. Something's been done secretively. Usually it wouldn't be coming up as the Moon if you were aware of it, because the Moon is like things happening in darkness, right? The thing is, after the Moon comes the daylight. So whatever's been happening, you're soon going to get some insight. You're going to find out what's been going on, and it's not really anything that can hurt you. It's just irritating. It's just something that was going on. But, it's like vampire in a way. Vampires don't do well in the light. And the light is soon going to be shining on these vampires that are going on in your life. And your mission, now that I'm telling you this, is to not be aggressive, to not go out there and seek it, but to quietly be a fly on the wall. Just kind of listen, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, be aware of stuff. And that's going to put you in a better position. You'll be able to act as opposed to reacting. You'll be in a position of power to figure out how to deal with it when things do come to light. And you won't be doing a knee-jerk reaction. You won't regret your actions if you take a little bit of time, you look at things, you see how things happen, and you can do that because you're very strong inside. You're able to kind of sit, let things resonate, see what's going on, and then decide on your course of action, right? I just feel like there's a lot of new beginnings here for you, and not just because it's January, but your reading is even really talking about that, starting off with the Fool, starting with the Four of Cups and the Lovers, and the Prince of Discs, the Knight of Cups. These are things coming to you, okay? That Moon, that's, in a way, that's an ending, because something that's been going on, that's been happening, without your knowledge, will soon come to the light, which also, too, will set things off in a new course of action, right? So a little bit more clarity here for January. Yeah, all that's going to lead you to financial success, to a new job, to a gift, to financial stability. The Nine of Discs is having a great deal of fortune in work, in money ventures. For some people, this is going to be the extra stimulus check and the extra unemployment. For other people, it's going to be, the vaccine happening and things being opened and you being allowed to get back to abundance and to being able to create and do the things you want. And when I say create, being a bartender is creative. Being a chef is creative. A lot of work. If you have a, if you're a designer, if you have a business where you do alterations, there's just so many ways, that if you build bicycles, I mean, there's a lot of things that are creative. Like, I've done hair my whole life. It's very creative. I don't really call myself an artist, but things that take technical ability that you then put your personal spin on, because you're not just an earth sign that's, a salt of the earth worker, but you also have the moon exalted in Taurus. And so you're able to add passion and creativity and your own interpretation on things that, some people plant gardens. They don't see that as creative. I see it as very creative. There's a lot of different ways you can plant things, that you can build things, that you can make things, that you can invest in things. You might be really creative with finances. You might be creative in selling real estate. There's a lot of ways that we can be creative. We don't have to call ourselves an artist to feel the impact of that lunar power that exalts your sign, Taurus. So I'm going to end this on that. And of course, always at the bottom of the deck, we have, see that change? Oh my gosh, the Two of Discs, the Two of Pentacles. Again, the two means two things. Things are going to start to flow financially. This speaks about, for a while, creating balance in the material world, getting things caught up, getting things paid off, what's going in, it may be going out, but you're going to get to a point where maybe you feel like you're treading on water, but you're not sinking, you're not moving backwards, you're moving ahead. And also the two can be options. It can mean there are two different scenarios, two different things being offered to you, like an apple and an orange. They're both great. They're both different. An orange is packed with more vitamin C, right? It's juicy, it's got pulp, you can do stuff with the peels. Then where an apple cleans your teeth, it's less acidic, it's a different kind of fiber, has a different effect on your body, right, with what's in it. So really, really interesting month you have. I certainly hope you will feel free to comment if any of this makes sense. Please hit that like, comment, share, smash the notification bell. This is Mr. Blue. I am hoping that you had a great holiday. I know this is going to be the start of a new journey, a new year for you. And it's going to lead you to this Nine of Discs, which is abundance. So there you have it, Taurus. Love and light. Check in next year.